Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Trent, how you doing?
Good. Ready for questions? It's been good. It's been good. It's normal, business as usual. Trying to figure out ways to get better and spend a little time with the family.
Trent, Debo was in here yesterday and said he felt like last season he was awful. His own assessment of his own play. I know you've worked out with him in the offseason in the past. Did you get the sense last year that he was kind of going through it a little bit, and how has he maybe this offseason been?
Honestly, I didn't. I thought he was Debo. I didn't. I mean, you know, that's everybody's their own worst critic. And, you know, he's a competitor. I know he's hard on himself, but, you know, I mean, I thought he was a playmaker for us.
Have you seen him this offseason kind of renewed vigor at all or anything like that?
I mean, yeah, he's been grinding. He's definitely been grinding, which I think with all great players, I think every offseason you figure out even if it's 1%, you figure out how to do things a little better, whether it's starting faster, starting later, figuring out ways to, you know, get your body healthy as opposed to just lifting weights. Everybody has their own recipe. So I just looked at it as, you know, another part of his maturation.
Last time we talked to you, you seemed very tired. At what point, like in the off season, do you kind of like say, okay, I'm, you know, like mentally, physically, feel like I'm now ready to do this?
I say, you know, after a tough loss like we suffered, it may take maybe a week or two longer, but usually after about 2 or 3 weeks, when all the bumps and bruises kind of subside, and you know, you're looking at basketball on TV, you're watching people compete, and then you start to miss that competition and start to get that itch again, and next thing you know, you're in the gym at 2 o'clock in the morning. So it's kind of how I always go for me.
How much are you as explosive and good as you've ever been, and how much of it is veteran know-how compensating for things? Or
I think a little bit is veteran know-how, but you know, I think it's just the explosiveness is something that you kind of build on over time, and you know, I think for me, that's one of the most important things going into any off-season training program is to make sure my exercises continue to sculpt where I want my explosion to be when I come back. So explosion in my game is a huge part of what I do. So it's a big focus in the off-season.
You really in the gym at 2 a.m.?
Yeah.
Just antsiness, or is that the schedule?
It's pretty much scheduled, but it's more so therapy. You know, you get to get in there and you don't feel like you in a fishbowl where everybody watching how much you lift and seeing when you get tired and kind of measuring themselves. For me, I just like to go in there and, you know, open space. It's night outside. It's kind of like, you know, I know everybody's sleeping. I feel like I'm working. Maybe I'm getting a leg up. They probably working while I'm sleeping. But to me, it's kind of a mental thing, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
McKivic is the new face on the offensive line. What's your thoughts on him? What have you seen from him throughout kind of his rise up?
I think it's well deserved. It's been a long time coming. You know, I remember having conversations with him when he didn't make the roster and he had to go to the practice squad for a couple of weeks, and how bummed out he was. He was playing great, but you know, it's a numbers game more than anything. And just to see him continue to grind, not to be discouraged, continue to let his talent show, play with confidence. You know, he earned it. You know, he's here for a reason, and he got that spot for a reason. He earned it. I'm proud of him.
It's only been a couple days, but what's it like having Javon Hargrave on the other side of the ball?
Oh yeah, I hadn't seen him play, but we got enough of him back in what was it, February, I think, January, whatever. But we know what he can do, and I was ecstatic that, you know, we ain't got to see him on the other sideline again. That guy's a heck of a playmaker, and it's sometimes seem unreal that we got a player like that to add to the type of defense we have. But you know, I say it again, and I said it before, I say it again. Those guys up in the front office, they work magic. So you know, we had another playmaker, another great player to that defense, and I'm just happy to see him. Well, eager to see him spin this season.
Trent, Drake Jackson, big year for him. What did you think of him last year, and how's he looking this year to you?
I mean, last year I thought he was, when you look at the athleticism he has, the natural strength, to me, he looked like an all-pro. He looked like he has the stature to be an all-pro player. He looked like he has the want-to. He's very studious. He's a student of the game. You know, he's always asking questions, eager to learn, and to see that he actually took that and then, you know, went and ate some weights this offseason and bulked up a little bit, I think it's only going to make him one of those playmakers that we need, you know, on the other side of Nick. Keep everything even. He has that talent, you know, and I'm looking forward to seeing some big things from him.
Trent, Eric mentioned maybe how tired you were last time we saw you. The last couple of years, you've had longer seasons than maybe you're used to, going deep into the playoffs. Has that changed anything about the way you have to approach your off season and maybe taking time, or you know, being ready for the long season like that?
Yeah, honestly, to be honest, you know, it's kind of giving me a little more time in the off season because usually after the Super Bowl, I've been on the couch for 5 to 6 weeks at that point, you know, and getting back into it can be a little tough. But, you know, after the football season, you already feel the urge to get back and start getting ready. So, you know, when you lose in the NFC Championship, football season's over with 2 weeks after that. So, you know, a couple weeks after that, I'm already back working out and never really got out of shape, if that makes sense, you know. So when you end the season with everybody else, you got a long time to get out of shape before the actual season really ends. So to me, it kind of helped me to where I'm not starting from ground zero every off season like I had in the past.
Are there any things you have to add in just because knowing that there's a chance I'm gonna have to play, you know, 20, 21 games this year?
No, you know, I just worked and I got the confidence in my coaching staff that, you know, they're gonna do what it takes to keep an old guy like me fresh for, you know, during the season. So I get a couple of days off during the week, and you know that's pretty much all I need.
Brian Gracie.
How have you kept tabs on the quarterbacks and how they've gone through a lot of different off seasons here, with Bach recovering and Sam coming in and Trey kind of trying to pick up on his stuff last year?
Yeah, you know that's a little bit above my pay grade, so Cal and them been getting it done. You know that's I let them handle that. You know. I got faith that they're gonna make the best decision. We have a good problem. We got 3 quarterbacks that we have full trust in, and obviously what Brock did last year, you know, it can't be questioned. So, you know, I let them handle that stuff. I'm just happy to have 3 able bodies back there, and that we know we can compete with.
Right,
Is it possible Jordan Mason could have a bigger role this year? What were your impressions of him as a rookie?
I think I was, you know, impressed like everybody else. You know, coming in where he was picked up at, nobody expecting a whole lot from him, and then boom, it's like a pleasant surprise. You know, we've always been pretty rich with running backs here, but the more you can keep adding depth to that room, you know, you got a closer like him who can come in and get those tough 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. You know, close the game out. We're running 4-minute offense. You know, you need guys like that. And not only is he a great player, he's a great teammate, great guy to be around. So, you know, I'm happy for him. He get an increased role. I think he deserves it.
There's a sequence out there today where Christian McCaffrey was positive he'd been held. He was upset about it, and he was going after the official.
Right.
To have a guy, you know, with that caliber in a mandatory mini camp, non-padded practice, take it that seriously, what does that do for everybody else?
I mean, you know, when you get to know Christian, you understand why he's the player he is. I mean, that's every day, and you know, you see we're in a mini camp. Most of the veterans are on the sideline, you know, with a front row view. You know, Chris, you can't keep him out the huddle. You know, that's him. He's a competitor. You know, he doesn't take a day off, doesn't take a play off. So it doesn't surprise me that he was pretty pissed off with getting held. I was too. I was over there, you know, giving the official my little 2 cents. But you know, I told Christian, I was like, "That's why you need to be over here with me, man. You got to worry about all that."
Brian Gracie talked about how Trey Lance, he was so proud of him about how he handled last year and that he affected the team through the postseason, even though he wasn't on the field. How did he do that?
Just about being a great teammate. you know, hey, we all know he was hit with an unfortunate situation, and you know, football, it's the way the game is. One opportunity closed for somebody else, it opens up for somebody else. So Brock was exactly what we needed him to be when we needed him to be that, and you know, as opposed to sitting there and being down, which everybody could respect and everybody could say, you know, I get that, I understand. You know, he didn't. He was in Brock's hip pocket, very attentive to meetings, every meeting, every walkthrough that he could attend, he was there. And he just always had a smile on his face, always uplifting teammates. And, you know, for him to be that young and be that mature and handle things that well, I mean, I was impressed.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks,
Hey,
Thank you.
Thanks,
Hargrave will be our last.